Okay, I promised you another one for today. The Lord just gave me this one. I just thought I'd share it with you. I'm reading out of Habakkuk. The oracle that Habakkuk the prophet saw. How long, Lord, must I call for help, and you do not listen? Or cry out to you about violence, and you do not save? Why do you force me to look at injustice? Why do you tolerate wrongdoing? Oppression and violence are right in front of me. Strife is ongoing and conflict escalates. This is why the law is ineffective and justice never emerges. For the wicked restrict the righteous, therefore justice comes out perverted. Look at the nations and observe, be utterly astounded. For something is taking place in your days that you will not believe when you hear about it. Look, I'm raising up the Chaldeans, that bitter, impetuous nation that marches across the earth's open spaces to seize territories not its own. They're fierce and terrifying. Their views of justice and sovereignty stem from themselves. The horses are swifter than leopards and more fierce than wolves of the night. The horsemen charge ahead. The horsemen come from distant lands. They're like an eagle. They fly like an eagle, swooping to devour. All of them come to do violence. Their faces are set in determination. They gather prisoners like sand. They mock kings and rulers, are a joke to them. They laugh at every fortress and build siege ramps to capture it. Then they sweep by like the wind and pass through. They are guilty. Their strength is their God. Are you not from eternity, Yahweh my God, my Holy One? You will not die. Lord, you appointed them to execute judgment. My rock, you destined them to punish us. Your eyes are too pure to look on evil, and you cannot tolerate wrongdoing. So why do you tolerate those who are treacherous? Why are you silent while one who is wicked swallows up one who is more righteous than himself? You have made the mankind like the fish of the sea, the marine creatures that have no ruler. The Chaldeans pull them all up with a hook, catch them in their dragnet, gather them in like fishing net. And why they are glad and rejoice. That is why they sacrifice to their dragnet and burn incense to their fishing net. For by these things their portion is rich and their food plentiful. Will thou therefore empty their net and continue to slaughter nations without mercy? I stand at my guard post and station myself on the lookout tower. I will watch to see what he will do, say to me, and what I should reply about my complaint. The Lord answered me. Write down this vision clearly, inscribe it on tablets, so one may easily read it. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It testifies about the end and will not lie. Though it delays, wait for it, since it certainly come and not be late. Look, his ego is inflated. He is without integrity. But the righteous one will live by his faith. But the righteous one will live by his faith. Moreover, wine betrays. An arrogant man is never at rest. He enlarges his appetite like I don't know what that is, like Sheol, and like death he is never satisfied. He gathers all the nations to himself, he collects all the people for himself. Won't all this take up a taunt against him, with mockery and riddles about him? They will say, woe to him who amasses what is not his, how much longer? And loads himself with goods taken in pledge. Won't your creditors suddenly arise, and those who disturb you wake up? Then you will become spoil for them. Since you plundered many nations, all the people who remain will plunder you. Because of human bloodshed, violence against the lands, cities, and all who live in them. Woe to him who dishonestly makes wealth for his house, to place his nest on high, to escape from the reach of disaster. You have planned shame for your house by wiping out many people and sinning against your own self. For the stones will cry out from the wall, and the rafters will answer them from the woodwork. Woe to him who builds a city with bloodshed. And found a town with injustice. It is not from the Lord of hosts, but the people's labor only to fuel the fire, and countries exhaust themselves for nothing. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Lord's glory as the waters cover the sea. Woe to him who gives his neighbors drink, pouring out your wrath, and even making them drunk, in order to look at their nakedness. You will be filled with disgrace instead of glory. You also drink and expose your uncircumcision. The cup of the Lord's right hand will come around to you, and utter disgrace will cover your glory. For your violence against Lebanon will overwhelm you. The destruction of animals will terrify you because your human bloodshed and violence against the lands, the cities, and all who live in them. What use is a carved idol after its craftsman carves it? It is only a cast image, a teacher of lies, for the one who crafts it shapes trust in it and makes idols that cannot speak. Woe to him who says to wood, wake up, or to the mute stone, come alive. Can it teach? Look, it may be plated with gold and silver, yet there is no breath in it at all. But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let everyone on earth be silent in his presence. I'm going to stop here. You know, the city names, they sound familiar like the ones we hear on the news today. The violence is everywhere in the United States today at this moment, at least in 5 to 13 cities. And what are they fighting for? And why? Something to think about. It's time to look up to the Lord and ask him what's going on. He said the righteous would live by faith. I believe him. We have been living by faith, but I think we're going to have to walk even stronger in him, in more faith from him, as he teaches us, leads us, and directs us. Okay, everybody. I'm done for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Father, bless your people today. All of them. Heal their bodies, their minds, their spirit, their little souls, and make them whole from the top of their head to the soles of their feet. And whatever their heart's desire is, you've already given the plan, a destination, and a purpose. We ask you, Father, to fulfill it in them, as only you can. We love you, Jesus, and we thank you for hearing and answering us. For it's in your name we ask all these things. Amen.